fiance is a DACA recipient. His family is originally from Venezuela and Colombia. And over the past 3 years, I've spent more time in the immigration office and the immigration lawyer's office than I would have cared to. And the amount of injustices that I've seen just this one family, my new family, is disheartening, honestly, with our government and how they treat immigrants. And we've had instances where even trying to apply for a credit card, my fiance has been declined because of his DACA status, which is very illegal, but it continues to happen. And of course, in the United States, you can't do anything without credit. You can't apply for a home. You can't even get an apartment to rent. And this is something that he's had to deal with his entire life. He came here when he was a year old. He's been here for 24 years. And he has not been afforded the same quality of life as someone who was born here. And just because he was brought here, not of his own free will, but because of his parents, when he was a year old. And he spends thousands of dollars just to exist in the United States every year. He spends money to renew his driver's license every year. He spends money to have a work permit every year. And when we get married, we'll owe the government $1,500 just so that he can continue to exist in the United States. And another example is my mother-in-law, my future mother-in-law, came here on a legal visa, and it took her 24 years to get a work permit. If she would have gotten caught between then, she would have been deported. My future father-in-law was using a lawyer. He made a mistake on his paperwork, and therefore Carlos ended up with a deportation order on his paperwork. So now that means that it is going to be insane for him to be able to get his citizenship here.
Okay, Lou, we have 4 minutes.
Sure thing. The point is that as much as I am behind immigrants, there are extremely pressing matters in this country, and I don't see how this is one of them. I've been through so many injustices with this family, and also the fact that people are speaking on her behalf, and she was never afforded the luxury of being able to speak for herself, and in fact, someone posted it in the newspaper, and an official commented on it, which didn't need to happen.
Get them the personnel stuff.
Sure, absolutely. But my point is that I want to see the infrastructure of the immigration process get better, and this is not going to do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll offer that opportunity to.
So Rebecca Ferguson, 410 you have a comment online questioning when the freeholder meetings or county commissioner meetings, excuse me, were reopened to the public.
Well, the freeholder meeting, we have a public session on every meeting.
Yeah, let me read it for you.
It is open to the public.
It's been open.
Oh,
I think the question was, when did we reopen?
oh, it's open to the public now. We have a,
I don't even think that's limitation as far as the number of people.
so, right now, you have to wear a mask inside, if you have, and we expect that to change by the time of the next freeholder meeting, or commissioner meeting.
Right.
So, we are open, wear a mask right now, but as the governor changes the regulations, we'll be, not wearing masks if you're immunized.
The question was, and the person didn't give an address, but Phyllis Ann asked, when did you open up with masks and distancing for the public?
When?
When? Yep.
Months ago.
First of the year.
No,
About a month ago.
Yeah.
About a month.
Month or two is probably when we really fully opened up like this.
So that was the only comment online today.
thank you for those attending online, thank you for those who are attending here, and for staying so late. We appreciate you all for being here, thank you. Have a motion and a second, any other discussion?